the most common questions I get from amazing, awesome women on the fence about seizing the opportunity to multiply their energy and transform their vitality rapidly is, Jerry Lynn, will this really work for me? I've tried every exercise and diet and healthy living program under the sun, and they work for a little while, but then I just revert back to my old habits. How do I know that this will be different? It's a great question that I love answering. And simply, the answer is this. Until you believe something different, nothing will be different. Until you believe something different, nothing will be different. And so it's so common for us to treat exterior symptoms of internal problems. Symptoms like weight gain, low energy, poor sleep, low libido, unhealthy behavior patterns and eating patterns, yet we never change the beliefs that lead to those destructive decisions in the first place. Let me give you an example. Back in 2004 and 2005, I was involved in using a lot of drugs. Cocaine, ecstasy, LSD, methamphetamines. That was me. In fact, I even went into rehab to get off of this and transform my life and get back in college. But I quit after a week, and this is why. The first thing I learned in rehab was to identify myself as an addict. I'm an addict. That's how we introduce ourselves. That's how we think of ourselves. That label carried with me for years. After I left rehab, I went back home and I stayed holed up in my parents' house for almost a whole year because I was so scared if I went outside, I would be triggered and become an addict again and go right back down the path that I just left. So it was so intense that when I went back to college, back to the very place where I was introduced to these drugs in the first place, I was terrified of going back down that path. And I would introduce myself as an addict. And I knew, one drink drunk. If I took one step, then I would go all the way down the path and everything would be lost. This simply isn't true. And in 2007, a few years later, I learned this through 4 months of really intense therapy, that I could be completely addiction-free, that I could heal and not only survive in life as an addict, but thrive beyond the labels into a higher version that I've never before dreamed was possible. And of course, I always attribute this to the power of God, but what He led me to do was to believe something different about myself. And that's what I'm leading you to today. So get your pen and paper out and write down this question. The result that you want in terms of weight loss, in terms of vitality and energy, the woman who has those things, what kind of activities is she engaged in? What is she like? How does she talk to people? What does she think about herself? What kind of music does she listen to? What kind of food does she eat? How does she relax? How does she talk to her family, to her kids? How often is she out with friends? Take a few moments to write down all the things this woman is doing and how she feels inside and out. Your Get Healthy assignment from now on is to look at this every day and feel like she feels, because you are that woman. And when you start believing that you're that woman instead of a woman who always reverts back, then you will start acting differently. And when you start acting differently, you become more than you are, and you step into a higher version of yourself. When you believe something different, things will be different. What was your biggest insight about today's video? Leave a thoughtful comment below this video sharing your feedback. I cannot wait to read your story and your thoughts. If you want to know exactly where you're missing opportunities right now to multiply the energy in your life and get really clear on what you want and what are holding you back, schedule a complimentary Double Your Energy Breakthrough session with me by clicking on the link below this video. Women have loved how much clarity and confidence and empowerment they get by knowing exactly what to do over the next 90 days to completely transform their life. With that, my name is Jerry Lynn Burnett of jerrylynnburnett.com, and we double our energy to double your impact. Have a great day, everyone. Bye-bye.